Olá rapaziada, como é que vocês estão? Sejam bem-vindos aí a um especial de Granblue Fantasy Relink. E como o prometido vai ser cumprido, agora a gente vai começar a revisitar alguns episódios do Destino, né? Porque tem algumas coisinhas que a gente já viu na série principal e a gente precisa terminar, né? Esses episódios. E é claro, tem alguns episódios que a gente nunca viu e a gente precisa ver. Então nós vamos começar hoje pelo episódio do Gran. Vou tentar deixar aí um personagem por vez, mesmo que seja assim, vamos terminar o dele, né? Mas vai ser um episódio, um personagem e vamos tentar ir até o final. Vão ter outros personagens que eu acho que só tem um, eu só preciso de um cardzinho pra desbloquear mais todos, né? Eu vou tentar desbloquear os outros personagens e vou trazendo. Por enquanto eu vou trabalhar com esses que a gente já tem aqui, mas eu vou, conforme vai aparecendo, eu vou trabalhar com os outros. E conforme vai vindo também, porque parece que vai vir outros personagens novos também, a gente vai trazer. Então antes de mais nada, vamos ao nosso pequeno top padrão. Pega um vídeo, pedisco, chama os amigos e bora se divertir, mas antes deixa que já encaquece esse coração. Se não for inscrito, já aproveita e se inscreve. Bora lá. O do Gran a gente já começou já com o prólogo, que é a historinha, tipo, o inicial, o Seja Bem-vindo, basicamente. Pelo que eu vi, todos eles têm o Seja Bem-vindo e tem um pouco falando das suas motivações e como que entrou na tripulação, basicamente. Então é um conto e aí ele começa a vir com algumas missões que são até, como assim, são novas essas missões. Então o prólogo a gente já fez, o Começando a Jornada também, Laços no Céu a gente já fez, Dúvida de Vir a gente já fez, até o episódio Conta Comigo, que era uma missãozinha que a gente ia fazer de batalha. Então agora a gente vai com Vitória Doce como uma maçã, que precisa ter 20 ou mais de nível de personagem. Tem que concluir Besta Primordial de Manacram e terminar o capítulo 4, que é esse capítulo 4 do episódio de Destino. Então assim, o Vir, ele confessa que se sente um fardo para a tripulação. Gran assegura ao dragãozinho que o apoio vigoroso dele reforça a moral da tripulação e Vir recupera a confiança para seguir da forma como estava. Graças à conversa sincera entre os melhores amigos, a confiança de Vir volta com força total. Então, vamos lá, vamos.
Sometime after our mission in Tempeel, we bumped into the old merchant in Folca.
Well, look who the cat dragged in. Thanks for handling things in Tempeel. You all deserve the best.
Tempeel had been roughed up by Furican's rampage, and all of the locals were busy repairing the damage. The work we did that day had been crucial to those recovery efforts.
Arrasada foi
Out of
pouco.
curiosity, my young lizard friend, were you much help to your crew?
Uh-oh. He said the L word. I turned to Vern, ready for his usual furious tagline.
Não pode chamar ele de lagarto.
Really helped me see the light.
Huh. This was new. The old man threw an apple to Vern, and they exchanged a nod. Then, without explaining this bizarre bond between them that just came out of the blue, he left.
Does anyone else feel like the space-time continuum just broke?
Io was staring, dumbfounded at the small dragon, who was already happily munching away on a tart Granny Smith. Had he matured? Enough to ignore his
O que é bem
most hated
estranho.
of hated
Tipo,
insults?
ignorar chamar ele de lagarto.
This is just too much to believe. He called you a lizard and everything. Maybe the ship will be a little quieter from now on, huh?
Hold it! I ain't no lizard! And don't you say that in front of the apple! What if it hears you?
Maybe he'd get there in another adventure or two.
Né? Tarde demais. Tarde demais. E o bom desses episódios é que aumenta o HP e aumenta o ataque. Né? Só que muitos deles a gente só consegue fazer, tipo, depois de terminar a história principal, né? Ó, o novo faz tudo. A gente precisa ter concluído o pós-game pra vir pra cá. Lembranças de Lyria. A tripulação esbarra com o mesmo mercador que tinha pedido ajuda com os suprimentos de Temple. Quando ele chama Vir de lagarto, o dragão surpreendentemente não se aborrece. Gran comenta que Vir amadureceu, pelo menos um pouco. É estranho.
I'm gonna go get this report turned in.
Much thanks, Captain. Paperwork is...
Since the crew started helping Id with his job as the new Mr. Fix-It, we'd been really busy. The shop was completely flooded with requests.
Eu achei legal. É um pouquinho parado a maneira com que eles contam a história, que podia ser uma animaçãozinha, alguma coisa assim. Mas o estilo de narração não é muito ruim, tá?
Those sad days when the islanders didn't trust Id, they seemed like a lie now.
Lyria, how are you feeling today?
Id asked me that every time we met.
We're all worried about you.
É, ele se apegou a ela.
How's the lifelink holding up?
Right, our lifelink. Everyone thought it might have weakened when I was absorbed by Angra Mainyu. Honestly, I had been really scared back then. But now, with the weight of the sky off our shoulders, I felt better than ever. I flashed Vern and Id a smile to let them know I was okay. Talking about the lifelink brought back memories, and I realized Id still knew almost nothing about our adventures. I began by explaining Catalina's daring rescue of me and our escape from the Erste Empire. Then I described the big trees of Zinkenstill and the Imperial Hydra, and the sad reason I needed to make the lifelink with the captain.
Eu gostaria muito de ter toda essa história num jogo.
We met Rackham and Io, Rosetta and
Nesse
Eugen.
porte.
And before we knew it, our ship was full. It's really amazing how much our family has grown. The whole time I'd sat there, in silence, yes, but I could tell he was giving me 110% of his attention.
Since getting to Zega Grande, we've had a heck of a wild ride. But now that things have calmed down, we can get to making some good memories.
Sure.
I think I'm starting to understand Id. Sure, he has two modes, cold and colder. But if you really pay attention, you can see he has a warm enough heart. Id, the captain, the crew, you're the best friends I could ever ask for. Here's to hoping we'll be together forever.
Uhul! Aumentou mais. Aumenta bem. Pô, se eles tivessem feito essas missõezinhas com missões secundárias, ia ficar muito bacana, muito mesmo. Mas assim, eles podiam aproveitar, né, o sucesso, a expertise que eles tiveram ao fazer esse jogo e fazer a história, porque não a história mesmo do original, entendeu? Pelo menos as animações eles podem fazer, tipo, nem alguns por aí que usam anime, né? Recuar jamais. A grande tripulação passa seus dias ajudando Id em suas funções de seu faz tudo. Id se preocupa com Lyria, considerando tudo o que aconteceu. Ela conta histórias do próprio passado para tranquilizar as preocupações.
After some exciting paperwork, I returned to find Lyria and Vern taking Id on a walk down memory lane.
You guys have seen some amazing things.
This was coming from someone who survived Lilith's schemes and won a mind battle with a god dragon. We'd all been through a lot.
It's all because the captain looks out for us. Yep, my butt is epic. You saw him save Lyria and this whole freaking skydom?
Eu gostei muito que o Id ficou bom depois. Eu gostei bastante do personagem. Eu gostei de jogar com ele também.
I turned to look at Vern, open-mouthed. Where was all this coming from?
I'm just trying to be vocal about my appreciation, remember? So yeah, take care of Lyria and keep up the good work.
I could certainly manage that. Just remembered, Sierra got us a whole bag of sweets as thanks for all our hard work.
Que bom.
Lyria and Vern exchanged a glance so charged
Mas não como muito
thought
doce.
the air between them was going to burst into
Ferra com os
flame.
dentes.
You should have told us that first. Early dragon gets the grub.
Hey, no fair. Come on, Vern. Wait!
And just like that, they were off. Foodies, right?
Captain, you got a moment?
I turned around, about to ask, you want some too? But one look at Id's knitted brow, and the question died on my lips.
Let's duel.
Did I just hear that right? Why though? Did he have something against cookies?
Sorry. It was the stories about your adventures. They put the thought into my head.
Oh, that's why. No, I still got nothing.
I want to protect Lyria just as much as you do.
He stalked away then, and left me staring after him. I was still having trouble piecing together his train of thought, but one thing was clear. He was doing it for Lyria's sake.
Sempre avançar. Vai dar mais um slot. Enquanto Vern e Lyria relembram o passado, Id desafia Gran para um duelo. Talvez Id queira testar sua determinação em defender Lyria. De qualquer maneira, Gran fica sem palavras. Você vai ter que jogar como Gran nessa missão. E é ele e mais ele mesmo. Entendeu? Ele. Deixa eu ver como tá as maestrias. Não dá pra colocar muita coisa assim. Oh. Então, vamos indo. Sempre avançar.
The duel was to take place at Hailwind Altar. Lots of memories there. It's where we first met Id, where I lost to him, and Lyria was taken from us.
Do you guys really have to do this?
We're friends now, right? Friends don't fight each other.
Lyria and Vern tried to talk me out of it the whole way there, but I just kept thinking of the look in Id's eye. He wasn't going to back down, and I respected that.
Às vezes, guerreiros precisam falar com a espada para se
Id had been
entender.
staring into the distance, like a statue set to guard the altar. He turned when he heard our footsteps.
Now that we've gotten to know one another, I've come to realize something. There's no one that can keep Lyria safe better than you.
He took deliberate steps towards me, but this was nothing like the first time we met. Before, he'd been terrifying, like a hydra closing in on its prey. But now, there was something softer about the light in his eyes. You could tell he was there to help.
You're the real thing. A hero. You didn't just save Lyria, you saved the skies. And I thought, maybe if we crossed blades again, I'd learn something. Something that would help me be more like you.
Id.
I finally got it. Id and I... There was still a part of us that couldn't tear away from that fateful day at Hailwind Altar. When Id had been a bad guy, and I'd been too weak to protect Lyria. But things were different now. And this fight was going to prove it. I'm not losing this time.
I'd be disappointed if you did.
I drew my sword and took the first step forward.
Vamos lá. Vamos. Caramba, ele tá tipo...
Okay.
Ele tá nível 50.
Please, just promise me you will be careful.
I mean, we already know this, but it's pretty much unstoppable.
We'll see about that.
I believe in you, bud. Show him how much you power up.
Clarity!
I've grown too.
You missed! This'll do!
Let's up the ante.
Gonna take more than that to beat me.
It's thinning.
Enough!
Ai, tomei.
You won't escape me!
Pouquinho de regeneração.
Slash and bash! Rain of arrow!
Aí, quebrei.
Here goes! So, wanna give up?
Ui, não
Getting
foi.
started. I knew this would be an easy fight.
You're no slouch yourself.
That's my bud.
Come on.
Patience is thinning. You won't escape me! You missed! Sentence!
Hold steady!
Vamos que falta pouquíssimo para eu... Pronto. Eu também quase nem upei ele de maestria direito. Tá 40% de maestria. A maestria faz muita diferença. Não é só um nível, tá?
Captain.
No. Thank you.
Nós que agradecemos. Se eu tivesse com 100% de maestria, nossa, eu teria desarregaçado.
I won.
Sim.
I stood, almost doubled over with my hands on my knees, trying to remember how to breathe. Id staggered over and stuck a clenched hand in my face. Yeah, of course he'd go for a fist bump. I tapped his knuckles lightly with mine, and just like that, we were back to being loyal crewmates. That duel had blown away all our regrets. No more looking over our shoulders. It was time to move past, well, our past.
E Gran recebeu outro espaço de selo. Episódio Destino de Gran foi desbloqueado.
Hello there.
Autoconhecimento. O duelo é intenso e furioso, mas Gran emerge com a vitória sobre Id. As palavras são desnecessárias e o entrechocar de lâminas e o espírito já diz tudo. É aquilo. Às vezes os guerreiros precisam chocar as suas espadas, não entrechocar as lâminas, para assim entender o lugar de palavras. Punhos e espadas. Autoconhecimento.
Hey, heard about your little spat with Id. Wish I still had that kind of energy.
Eugen gave me a hearty slap between the shoulder blades.
The chills I got when watching them. Man, they were going all out.
Of course, Vern had told everybody. I could appreciate honesty and openness throughout the crew, but I clearly needed to have a talk with that dragon about minding his own business.
So you're jealous Lyria's making new friends? What? Do you have a crush or something?
Nossa, você é.
Don't be silly. That's not what this
Essa
was about at
menininha
all.
é, hein?
As Lyria tried to
Se mete
explain the
onde não
situation,
deve.
I just kind of sniffed and shuffled my feet. It had been a wild ride, but things were finally back to normal. I couldn't get the duel with Id out of my mind. He had been a perfect storm, placing his whole heart behind every blow. I had to remember what I was fighting for to even stand a chance. To be honest, I still don't think I'm stronger than him. I won this battle, yeah, but both of us are still changing, still growing. Who knows how it'll turn out if there's a next time. But I doubt we'll ever need to fight like that again. Id trusts me now. I can feel that just as much as I felt the shock of his sword clashing against mine. Trust is nice, but it always comes with responsibility. Still, that's the weight I signed up to carry when I became captain of the Grand Cipher. Took Lyria's hand all that time ago.
E agora é o último episódio. Capítulo final. A notícia do duelo entre Id e Gran se espalha pela tripulação, que compartilha uma risada gostosa com o desentendimento. A vida voltou ao normal, mas Gran nunca esquecerá o peso dos golpes de Id. Gran jura que vai sustentar a responsabilidade de ser tanto líder da tripulação quanto o recipiente da conexão vital de Lyria, por mais pesada que seja. Os melhores amigos do mundo.
For sure, it felt like everybody in Zega Grande had a job for Mr. Fix-It. Today's request? Just taking down a monster that can demolish a small village with a sneeze. No biggie.
Né?
Vern, could you get us some potions?
You betcha! Liquid health coming right up!
Vida líquida saindo.
Lyria, we're about to head out. Mind letting the rest
Gostei
of the crew
disso.
know?
Sure, no problem.
I took a deep breath, letting it settle in my chest before releasing. We had a game plan, of course, but you never know how these things will go. Timing, coordination, everything had to be perfect.
You'll be fine. I trust you, and so does everyone else.
Id put a hand on my shoulder, and somehow that weight steadied me. We'd figure things out. We always did. I exchanged a nod with him, and we headed for the docks. The rest of the crew was already there, waving their arms in the air. From the smiles on their faces, you'd think we were going for a tropical vacation in a goose day. Well, either way, I was sure we'd all come out of it in one piece. We had a bright future ahead of us.
Sim. Uma despedida destinada. Conclua o epílogo de um episódio do Destino. Né? Uma anotação descoberta é entrada no diário de Lyria. E com isso terminamos os episódios do Destino que ficaram faltando do Gran, tá? Lembrando que para você conseguir, você vai precisar terminar a história, o pós-jogo, por causa do episódio do Faz Tudo, né? Do novo Faz Tudo, por causa do episódio 6. E também chegar até o nível 60 para você ver essa história linda e maravilhosa. Então eu espero que vocês gostaram. Se gostaram, deixa aquele joinha que é só clicar, coloca um comentário falando o que você achou, compartilha com os amigos, comenta importante se não for inscrito no canal, aproveita, se inscreve e ativa o sininho para receber notificação dos próximos vídeos. Muito obrigado e até o próximo.